You might not know this, but Canva has hidden resources that can help you create stunning color palettes instantly. Once you learn this, you will never pick colors the old way again. One of the best resources for working with colors in Canva is available at canva.com/colors. In here, you will find a color palette generator, color palette ideas, a color wheel, and color meanings. The first option, the color palette generator, in my opinion, is not the most impressive tool of the four, as you have a similar tool inside the editor. So let me show you how it works. When you click here, it will take you to this new page. What Canva is doing here is that it is taking the hues in the photo to create a color palette. So in this case, we have this image and we have 4 different colors that you can copy and paste on any Canva design. So let's take, for example, this pink. I'm going to click on copy, and then coming back to our Canva design, I'm going to click on the background, go to background color, and then simply paste the hex code on this bar. You will see the color appearing in here, and I just simply need to click to apply it to the background. Let me go back to canva.com/colors. From here, you can upload an image. Okay, this is the photo that I have selected, and as you can see, we have 4 different colors. I'm gonna again copy one of these colors and then bring it here to my design. As I already mentioned, this feature is also available inside the editor, and that's why I don't find it pretty useful, because as you can see, I'm bringing this image to my design, and then if I go to the color panel, I can find the colors here under photo colors, and I can use this feature without having to leave the editor, which is quite convenient. Now let me go back to canva.com/colors to show you the other 3 tools in here. Next, we have color palette ideas. This is the best place if you don't know how to create a color palette or if you don't feel inspired. From here, you can discover color palettes searching by keywords such as color names or emotions. So for example, let me search for pink, hit enter, and then you will see a bunch of different color palettes using pink. If you like any of these combos, you can click on the color palette and then you can extract the colors from here. Now let me go back to colors, to the initial page, and let's discover the color wheel. The color wheel gives you some theory and it explains what the color wheel is and how it works. So I do suggest that you take the time and read this article that we have in here. And I want to show you here quickly what you can do with this tool. You can drag this color picker to find a color that you want. You can make your color less saturated if you drag it in the middle of the circle, or you can make it more saturated if you bring it closer to the edge of the circle. And you can move this slider around the circle to make your color lighter or to make it darker. Once you have selected a color, you can then choose a color combination. You can choose from all of the options in here. At the moment it's set to complementary, but you have these other options in here. And if you find something that you like, you can then use this color combination in a graphic or export the color palette. And you can also click here to copy the hex code to then paste it on your Canva design. Now let's go back and discover color meanings. You can browse this list of colors and discover the history, the emotions, and the meanings behind each of these colors. And you can also find some color combinations in these pages. Now let me show you a pretty useful feature in Canva. If you want to change the colors on your design but you don't know which color palette to use, or maybe you want to use a color palette that you saw on a template that you like. I have this design in here and I want to apply the colors from a template that I used previously. I'm going to go to design, and under templates you will find a design with a color palette that you like. If you are using a Canva free account, you would like to go for free templates, but if you are using a Canva Pro account, you can go for either free or pro templates. Let me show you this example. I'm gonna go with this template, so I'm gonna click on the 3 dots, and to apply the color palette that we see on this template to this design, I'm gonna click apply colors only. When I click here, pay attention to the colors on this design. I'm clicking once, and as you can see, the beige and the red color has been applied. And now you can see that the text on this button has changed. It says shuffle colors. That means that if you continue clicking here, you will see different color combinations of the same color palette. And something pretty interesting in here is that you can apply colors to all pages. That means if you have multiple pages on the same design, and if you click here, this color palette will be applied to all the pages. So with just one click, the style has been applied across all pages. So let me go to grid view, and as you can see, we have gone from this to this with just one click. And you can do the same trick, but instead of using colors in a template, you can use the colors on a photo or an image. I have this visual here, it is a gradient. And then when I click on the three dots, I have the option to apply colors to page. So when I click here, you will see that the colors from this visual has been applied to my design. And I can continue clicking on this option to shuffle the colors. And you can do exactly the same thing, but with elements. So let me bring this element in here, click on the three dots, and then apply colors to page. I'm applying the colors on this element, you can see the colors in here, to the design. And quickly seeing different variations of this color palette in the design by clicking on this button. And the third resource Canva has for us is under design. So when you're clicking here, you're gonna go instead of templates to styles. From here, you have color palettes. Click see all to have an overview of all the color palettes available. And from here, simply click on the color palette that you like to apply the colors on your design. You can continue clicking on this option to shuffle the color palette. And then you also have the option to apply that color palette to all pages. Let me go up because from here, you can search for different color palettes, so you can go for fun, creative, lively, and so on. So let me show you here. Let's go for fun. This is a pretty easy way to filter all of the color palettes if you are not quite sure on which one to choose. Now let me go back to show you one more resource, and this one is image palettes. So you can see here we have the image color palettes. Let's go and click see all, and from here you will see the images available on your document. And what I like about this feature is that you don't need to have the image on your page to be able to apply them. You can simply click on this thumbnail and be able to shuffle the color palettes on this image. And from here, you'll also have access to the apply to all pages. So there you go. If you start using the resources and all the tips we learned, you'll start working with colors better than the majority of users in Canva. Learn everything you need to know about Canva with our Canva Master Course. I'm going to link it here on the screen and also in the description of this video. And if you want to discover the hidden color tools in Canva, make sure to watch this video right here. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and see you in the next one. Bye!